So let's talk about key tam or whistleblower cases. You've probably seen these in the news or heard about them before. But whistleblower cases are cases where you can report fraud, corporate wrongdoing, or some type of corporate malfeasance to the, you report this to the government as a whistleblower, where you say, stop, this corporate entity is doing something they shouldn't be doing. And then you ask the government to step in and to be able to investigate that and to take action against the corporate entity. And usually these cases involve misuse of government funds, which is most commonly like Medicare or taxpayer funds in some way, because the government has an interest in that. And so the government says, we want to reward whistleblowers or people who say the corporation is misusing these funds. You see it quite often in medical scenarios because of Medicaid or Medicare, and sometimes big medical providers, sometimes dentists, are pervasive and have a pattern of misusing those funds or overbilling, which is very common. And so the patients will say, or sometimes the employees will say, government, I'm going to blow the whistle against this medical provider who I work for because they're misusing their funds. And so in turn, if the government does the investigation and sues the corporation, they actually will provide a percentage, usually 25%, to the whistleblower. And so those are very interesting claims. A fun fact is that key tam actually means for the king. So it comes from old Europe, where the king said, I want to know if my people out there, my agents out there are misusing my funds. And so the king would reward the common people for turning in the king's agents for their failure to act. We actually brought a successful key tam claim against a massive medical provider that was in the news several years ago. And there were actually several other claims brought at the same time, but they were in essence treating psychiatric patients and over-treating them and overbilling them through Medicare and Medicaid. And the government stepped in and there was actually a very massive recovery for it. And so we like to think that we helped keep those big companies in check in accordance with the whistleblower law. So very interesting cases.